What's up, you guys? It's Susie from HeyGrillHey.com, and today we are throwing down some epically delicious and incredibly simple, right off the grocery store shelf, smoked beef short ribs. Crunchy on the outside, tender, smoky, beefy on the inside, and we're gonna do it all in 8 hours. Let's go. Now, a lot of people are familiar with smoked beef short ribs being like the big dino bones or the plate ribs or the chuck ribs that are long and meaty, but those require special ordering, or you have to get a hold of your butcher or buy them online. They can be very, very pricey. These little short rib beauties are generally available right on most grocery store shelves, very commonly used in like stews and braising, and they're so delicious. All that meat right next to the bone is fatty, and it makes for a perfect little like smoked beef bite. And they're really easy to prepare. All we got to do to start is get these guys trimmed and seasoned and onto the smoker. I got about 2 pounds of beef short ribs here. You can see the bone is on the bottom, and I try to pick the short ribs in the package that have some height to them, a little bit of meat to them, and on the ends, if you can see some good fat marbling on the inside, that's a good sign that you're gonna have short ribs that are really flavorful and really juicy. But some of them come with this little layer of silver skin and fat on the top, and that needs to come off because the silver skin is just gonna get chewy and stringy when we cook it. But the rest of these kind of like thicker fatty pieces, those are okay to stay. Just like to use the tip of a really sharp fillet knife to get just right up under that silver skin, because I want to take the silver skin off, but I want to keep as much meat on there as possible. See, this one's off. This is not off. Yes? We see? I'm happy with that. Like I said, we don't need to take every little bit of fat off the top, but anything that's thick or has silver skin underneath it, it can go. Next, we're just gonna slather with some spicy brown mustard. I like the spicy brown mustard. I think it brings a zip and a pop to these short ribs where they're such small pieces you can actually taste it. If you're not a mustard fan, you could simply slather with olive oil. Once those are all nice and coated on the outside, you need to season with your favorite beef barbecue seasoning. Of course, I recommend my beef barbecue seasoning because it's the best, but equal parts kosher salt, coarse black pepper, and garlic powder is always a solid base for classic smoked beef goodness. One quick note about seasoning is typically, if we're doing something big like a whole plate of beef ribs or a whole packer brisket, I tell you to season really liberally. With these guys, I'm actually gonna recommend you would go a little bit lighter than normal. They're gonna shrink up significantly, and you don't want to over salt or over season your meat, because when it shrinks, all that seasoning is gonna tighten together. So give yourself a nice dusting on the outside, but don't go as heavy you would as if you were seasoning, say, a brisket or a whole rack of pork ribs or beef ribs. Yes? Okay. Our beef ribs are seasoned. I just like to give them a little pat to make sure all the seasoning that I put on there is adhered really nicely to the outside of the short ribs. These are going on a smoker preheated to 225 degrees. We have the pellet smoker today. We also have our Masterbuilt. These work beautifully on either, but whatever smoker you can get up and running and hold at 225 degrees for about the next 8 hours is what you're gonna wanna be cooking on. I love a mixture of oak and cherry for beef. I think it's the perfect combination of wood flavor and all of that beautiful color that you get from the cherry. Which one, Todd? This one today? Okay, Todd has spoken. All right, these guys are going to sit in here with the lid closed for the next 3 hours. Not gonna peek, not gonna touch them. I know they're not gonna be done in 3 hours. but that's gonna give all the time in the smoke without any peeking at all. Then we're gonna crack the lid open and start spritzing with beef stock every hour until these beef ribs are finished cooking. I just checked the temperature on my short ribs. They were coming in at about 200 degrees. Normally I take these up to 205 or so, but they were feeling so soft and buttery. I think they're ready to come off. That's where temperature is a good guideline, but really you wanna go by texture, and these feel texturally perfect. So I'm gonna pull them off, put them onto my serving platter, cover them with foil, and let them rest for about 30 minutes. They're not big enough that you need to rest for an extended period of time, but they do need to rest for a little while, partially because they need to just like hang out and do what they do, but also because you don't want to eat short ribs at 200 degrees. They will burn your mouth. I want to let these come down to about 160 to 165 per serving. The color is perfect. The bark and the texture on the outside is phenomenal, and you can see how much the meat has pulled away from the bone and shrunken. They're like these perfect little lollipops. Let's just cover them up. I want to bite into one right now, but I know it's better to rest. We'll be back in about a half an hour.
Ready.
Can I eat them now, Todd?
Yep.
Please. Thank you. That was really hard to do, is let those rest. Look at these perfect little bites. I think these would be amazing as appetizers or a little plated dish or tailgating, or anytime you want that big beef rib flavor in a slightly smaller package. Or maybe you just could only find these at the grocery store. Regardless of the reason, I think anytime is a good time to smoke some beef short ribs. Now, Todd is a total purist. I'm half and half. I think these are perfect without any sauce on them. The beef stock that we spritz them with and the beef seasoning and the smoke, that should all speak for itself. But I do have some of my Texas sauce on the side just in case I want some. Those are awesome. They're still juicy because the meat itself has enough fat in there to keep everything moist, to keep everything flavorful. And I just love any type of meat where you can pick up the whole bone and put a big bite in your mouth. I hope you guys give this super simple recipe a try at home. I think it's even a great beginner barbecue recipe where you can do it in a day. You don't need any exotic ingredients, and the results will make everybody happy. If you guys give this one a try at home, snap a photo, post it online, use the hashtag HeyGrillHey. That way I can see it and cheer you on your journey to becoming a backyard barbecue beef rib hero. We'll see you guys next time.